Hi, this is Vince Reilly, the internet's more cinematic music nerd. As a boy, I would watch my mother at her sewing machine. She would position the cloth at the needle and feed it through, tentatively at first, and then quickening the pace with experienced precision. I hazard a guess that the inspiration for the main theme of Jonny Greenwood's score for Paul Thomas Anderson's Phantom Thread was based on this practice of exacting repetition, understood by a tailor such as Reynolds Woodcock, played by Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a majestic and surprisingly romantic score, particularly for a member of Radiohead. As mentioned in the ever wonderful and wonderfully unhinged Adam Buxton's podcast and interview with the composer, Greenwood joked that the director often teased him about Radiohead's austerity, and this obviously spurred Greenwood to indulge himself here in uncharacteristic gushes of emotion. Of course, a film score is unarguably in the service of the film, and for this reason, there's the inevitable repetition of the theme, which risks being tiresome when listening to film scores as a work on CD in general. Such repetition may be necessary for the drama or associative themes of the film, but is rarely welcomed when listening to it as a standalone work of music. David Bowie's solution to this after scoring and recording the music for the BBC series A Buddha of Suburbia was to re-record the music especially for CD, arguably his last great one. In the Oscars, Greenwood's score lost out to the bland and more so sentimental The Shape of Water. But then again, in 1941, Citizen Kane, now generally regarded as the greatest American film of all time, was likewise nominated for a range of Oscars, including Bernard Herrmann's score, but likewise only received a single one, and also likewise not for the music. But I sometimes feel that Oscars are given as consolation prizes for making bad films. Jonny Greenwood's first score for a Paul Thomas Anderson film, There Will Be Blood, wasn't in fact a film score at all, but the outcome of a music residency for the BBC, exploring the music of Penderecki. Perhaps this is why it does not suffer from the same repetition and is, most would argue, a far stronger collection of music. Maybe one secret of a great music score is not necessarily write one, but to delegate music to the film. A perfect example of this is when Kubrick commissioned a conventional score for 2001: A Space Odyssey by Alex North, the composer for his earlier Spartacus, but abandoned it in favour of his own guide pieces, which included works by Johann and Richard Strauss, Khachaturian, and most predominantly Ligeti, thus collating perhaps the finest film music of all time. I thank you for listening, welcome any comments, and Jonny Greenwood's score for The Phantom Thread.